Cardi B, Bruno Mars, Finesse remix. Right now, everybody's going crazy over this song.
Everybody, this song is all over social media. I can't scroll through my Instagram
without not seeing it.
Exactly, without not seeing a reference to this jam right here.
Bringing us back to the 90s, huh?
Were you alive in the 90s, by the way?
Whoa. I was alive in the 90s.
Do you remember that? Were you maybe like 99? Were you born 99? Let's tell
the disrespect on this panel right now.
If Lim was here right now, he would be co-signing. He would be co-signing with me right now.
I'm a 90s baby, born in 1991. Okay,
91.
So yes,
okay.
At the top of the 90s. What's going on? I'm your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram @BeYourOwnDad. I don't think our audience knows this throwback though.
I think you're right.
When you think about it.
I don't think our audience probably is familiar with In Living Color.
Exactly. Or Martin or Fresh Prince or any of those classic shows.
Yeah.
The Cosby. Let us know in the comments if any of you guys know these.
What was your favorite show?
Talking about. Yes, we want to know.
Growing up.
Exactly, man. Let the people know who you are, Josh.
What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It's your boy, Joshua Johnson, coming in on Instagram and all social media @JJ the Talented. Yeah. Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
He's finally joining the panel.
I know, right?
Last time we seen him was season 3.
Season 3. And don't call it a comeback, but I'm happy to be back, man.
But it is always good to have you back. So we do have 2 episodes to dive into. Let's get right into it. I'll be holding down. So while we were gone, of course, there was episode 5, and then as well as there was a Christmas special, and then there was episode 6. So to recap episode 5 real quick, I know I've been hard on the kids. I know you've seen a few of our after shows.
Yeah.
Nino filled you in. We were actually just speaking about it. Actually, since the audience hasn't heard your perspective on this season yet, what are your thoughts, man?
You know what? Overall, listen, man.
When somebody has to stop themselves, what's about to go down. Go ahead.
Because I feel like I'm usually the bearer of bad news in the show, like the guy who's always like really hard on the kids. But listen, man. I have to say, we were talking about this before we started shooting. The skill level for me isn't on par or as good as what we've seen in past seasons. I'm just gonna put it out there flat out. It's not anything that makes me want to really makes me really excited to tune in for some reason. I watch it. I love the show. I love the concept. I love JD. I love what he does. So I'm down to watch the season. I'm down to ride with the rap game. For life. All right. But I'm just if I had to pick a season that's my favorite, this one isn't it.
Right. And I was letting Nino know this as well, and it's the skill level, just like you mentioned, and just like episode 5 that I'm about to recap now is simple things like remembering your lyrics, man.
Right. By this time, like how many seasons we had? We had 4 seasons,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So we've had 3 seasons before this. The kids should know
what's happening on the rap game.
You know. So you know what to prepare for.
Right.
Why can't these kids remember their lyrics?
Simple things like that.
And just the stuff that they've seen over and over happen in these episodes in the first 3 seasons. I don't get it. Do your homework.
And it kills me. It crushes me because you guys reach out to us on social media like, hey, can you support my music? Hey, how do I get on? And I listen to everybody and I like their things, and I'm thinking, damn, JD, you should put this.
How did you miss out? Exactly. Right. How did you miss them?
I see the talent on this season, and I'm thinking
like somewhere in casting there's miscommunication.
What happened? But JD, we rock with you hands down. Yeah. Nothing against any of the talent on season 4 now. We just keeping it a buck. We just want you to level up.
Yeah, bring it up.
So, episode 5 was all about them coming together as a team.
Yep.
And they get to perform at the circus, which I
thought
was dope, of course, a crowd of about, I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely more than 2,000 people, like a whole lot of people there.
Good amount.
When JD mentioned that they'll be performing there, one of the kids said, "Oh man, I'm excited! Mulatto performed there. The Brat performed there. Listed off a whole lot of people lyrics." So, I guess after the rap game is done on TV, we kind of got an idea of the tour maybe they go on as they go on past.
Right.
But so it was simple. work as a team and perform in front of this crowd. Now, all throughout the episode, there was a little bit of funny stuff going on because Jordan wanted to go first.
Right.
And within the past episodes, we've seen he struggled remembering his lyrics.
And I get it, right?
Yeah.
I get the concern. Oh, sorry. The concern that they had with Jordan going first. Because if you can't remember your lyrics, you can't be the first one out the gate. And why is it always like the guy who can't remember this stuff always wants to be first?
I want to do it. I want to do it.
Like, why is that always a thing?
Right.
Like, if you've had that experience where the person with the least amount of skill always wants to be the best and brightest and first one, let me know.
Right.
But yeah, Jordan wanted to go first, and they're like, hold up.
I know, man. We just pulled up our live chat. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for joining us on this recap session here. So,
sorry, real quick. Shout out to our engineer, Jeff, too, who's running this on the screen for us. Can you make that a little bit bigger for us, Jeff? Because it's hard.
Just a little bit.
You got it, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. So then, so as they go into practice, everybody's ready, or they appear ready. They're performing in front of JD, who is there, and somebody has their notebook, Jordan. So he starts to spit, messes up.
Yep.
Start over again, messes up again.
So,
and then JD was mentioning he was looking to see who was going to step up in this situation to take control. One of the managers had to. Was it the kids? Anything of that sort, right?
Right.
So I liked how remind me of
Lil Bree.
Lil Bree, she did mention the whole time that she did want to be the one to open up the show. She actually brought it to the group,
right?
And that's when tension started to happen there. Yeah. How would you feel if somebody wanted to address something with you, but went towards the group first to speak about it? What'd you think?
Yeah. So in that scenario, I would definitely want them to approach me first. Just because there's a level of a respect in that, a level of personability when you just come to the person just directly one-on-one and say, hey, I don't know if it's the best for you and for the whole team if you go first, just based on what's happening. And he really couldn't dispute the fact that even the week before, he on stage in front of all the kids, he forgot the lyrics.
He dropped the mic,
dropped a couple of cuss words, and and left the stage. So he really couldn't dispute the fact that I'm not as strong with the lyrics. So I feel like if you came to me one-on-one and kind of presented the facts and laid it out, that would have been better for me than going to the whole group and just putting it out there like, yo, this guy, I don't think we should have number one. Because then I'm embarrassed. Then when I'm embarrassed, I shut down and don't want to hear anything else. You know
I agree. And I thought it was a little ironic when the group was speaking about it. Jordan happened to walk in. He's like, hey, what are you guys talking about? So I don't know if that was scripted there, or they were like, Jordan, walk in now. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that was about, but I just thought that was pretty funny there. So back to rehearsal. Everybody's rehearsing. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot remember Street Bud's manager's name. His mom, Corey. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Corey was the one to step up and kind of took charge of what's going on here. Right. They definitely tried to give Jordan a chance. They brought him on the side. They were even like, look, you got 2 minutes. Read your pad, memorize it, and come back good. They gave him 2 minutes. He was
Corey
still
and
Reginald as well.
There, they're kind of like, hey, let's get together. Let's get your lyrics. We'll give you a chance, and see what you can do.
Yeah, and then I also thought that was dope too, that they were actually helping out other people besides their own kids.
Right.
Show that family vibe. Once again,
because they were all in it together. Ultimately,
they are. Because with a team, if one pawn goes down, the rest go down.
It's gonna make everything else bad, and that's doubly why you can't have a weak opening. It's like when you're running track and field. You got to have somebody really strong up front. Now they may not be as strong as that anchor leg in the back, but they're gonna be strong out the gate to get everybody.
And that's what you need. Yeah. So let's just go straight to the performance there. It's performance time. They decided to put Jordan number 4, I believe, and Lil Bree started off the show, which is what was needed. Lil Bree, she's got that leadership role that she automatically takes. I think her voice, she's already comfortable on the mic. They even mentioned that Jordan hadn't performed in front of a live crowd of that mass yet.
Right.
So that's just another reason to push him to the back.
Yeah, don't just throw him in the pool in the deep end and expect him to swim if if he can't even make it in the shallow end. So I agree with the switch up. Put Lil Bree up front, and she's got the lyrical content. She's pretty solid with her delivery. I think it was a good move.
Definitely.
And yeah, she started him off.
Lil Bree did her thing. I'm forgetting the exact order right now, but I know when it came to Ricky Biddy's turn, her mic went out at the top of the performance.
Yeah.
But I will give Ricky Biddy props because that didn't stop her flow.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't hear herself within the speakers or something, you could tell she just kept spitting.
Just kept going.
Boom, boom, boom.
Some people in that scenario would have just flat out stopped, looked around like, hold on, I think it happened last season. I don't remember what challenge it was, but I think the person was like, my mic is off.
Right.
But you're a performer. You got to keep performing as if everybody can hear you.
That's right.
And I really appreciate that about Ricky Biddy. And I didn't expect that from her because I feel like of all the ones who could have been in that scenario and doing the right thing as far as keeping going like that, I wouldn't picture Ricky doing it.
Right.
But so hats off to her for keeping going.
Also, too, hats off to Rapunzel for saving her day.
Yeah.
She came through and switched out her mic, and she was able to finish off her verse.
Veteran move.
Like
she had been there before. Like if you're rapping with somebody else and the mic goes, she probably in church or something, somebody singing the little the little music in church up front. She had the experience. Somebody's mic.
Here, baby.
Here you go.
Baby.
Here you go. Switch your mic, sing Jesus Loves Me or something like that. But let's go through our comments real quick because somebody said Jordan's mom. Speaking of Jordan, Jordan's mom Chandra does not do anything.
Okay, okay. So I'm actually glad that they brought that up because I know that Jordan's mom has good intentions. I know she's a great mother. She's not in the music industry, so she doesn't know how to give instruction. Doesn't know how to help him out in the situations there.
Right.
Later on, they actually started to question her, and she said, "My son is a man. I know he needs to experience that in order to go through it and actually learn what to do." She had a point there.
But I think she had somewhat of a point, in my opinion, because I think it was a major cop-out. Because at the same time, you're a manager, so you have to manage. And
that's why you're on the show.
You have to kind of control the situation and control your artists.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what you need to do. You need to manage. And so you can't be a laid-back, manager, because what are you doing? You're not managing anything. You got to, be there controlling what your artist does, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that your artist gets to the point they want to get to.
That's right. So performance goes on. Everybody did their thing somewhat. Street Bud came out strong.
Street Bud
won over the performance pretty much, and he did his thing.
Street Bud, man, I'm telling you, he's my favorite.
Just because, that's your favorite?
Yeah, he's so lit. He's so live. He's always, at 100. Yeah. He's out there performing. I feel like he likes performing.
Oh yeah,
you can tell by the way
he got the swag.
He's got the swag, and just the way he looks and the way he dresses. He's like always out there to perform.
I told Nino that he reminds me of a mini two Chainz.
Yeah, a mini 2 Chainz, or in some sort of a way, a Lil Uzi Vert. Just a little bit, not by like lyrical content.
Comparison,
not like
okay.
No, it's just not lyrical content. But for some reason, for me, I don't know if you've seen like Lil Uzi in the live shows. Like he gets people crunk.
He does.
Are we still saying crunk, by the way?
Bro, your age is showing right now.
Listen, we don't use
crunk. We say turnt.
Okay. Turnt. Appreciate you, young blood. He was turned. He was turned. And yeah, so the comparison for me is kind of toward. I see what you're saying with 2 Chainz, but also a Lil Uzi Vert a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like Street Bud a lot.
I like him too. JD mentioned one thing, and you just mentioned how Street Bud looks like he's always ready to perform.
He's always ready.
JD mentioned somebody came through in some sweatpants and some looked like they just hopped out the gym, and JD was like, "What were you wearing?"
And you know what?
He was speaking of Ricky Biddy.
Ricky Biddy. I didn't really realize it at first until JD brought it up, and then I was like, "Yeah, he's right." it looked like something that most performers would wear in rehearsal.
Yes.
Like they just chilling,
exactly regular
relaxed.
stuff.
Yeah, very relaxed and just going out there to just to rehearse.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're Ricky Biddy, you know her whole thing is kind of like bringing up the feminine side.
Definitely.
So for her, it's like kind of not what you would normally expect because she's kind of really accentuating her feminine side and kind of that girly rap kind of thing. So yeah, JD had a point.
Yeah, definitely. When you come to perform, I don't even care if you come to set here. Make sure you rocking something presentable, you know, not just some sweatpants and Jordans.
Oh man, listen,
I'm playing with you. But pretty much that episode was there. They came down to the hit list. Nothing was I don't think anything was surprising on the hit list.
Nah.
Jordan was number 5.
Well,
Knew that. Ricky Biddy was 4. I believe. I don't have it up right now, but I know at the end of the day, at the top, it came down to Street Bud. Yeah.
Yep.
And he got that number 1 spot.
Or the second week in a row.
That's right.
Number 1 spot. And that's my guy, Street Bud, just because he's so hype all the time.
For sure.
And it's like one of those situations where you feel like Street Bud has been doing this all of his young life. I don't know what is he, 11?
He's
11?
young, 12.
But
yeah,
I feel
12.
like he's been doing this since he was a baby. He was just always like just hype and just enjoying life.
Yeah.
And so when you see someone enjoying life like that, it makes you feel good inside and enjoy
It does.
life. You know what I mean? It translates.
And also too, that's what's so important about authenticity.
Yeah.
Because we can feel it through the camera screen.
Right.
Even though they filmed this months ago, he's like, oh, he is having a good time.
Yeah.
Makes me want to jump up and down.
Exactly.
And
Go Street
and have a
Bud,
good
go
time.
Street Bud, go.
Right?
Man.
So
Yeah.
then shout out to him on episode 5.
Yeah. No, that was episode 4. We're about to talk about
yes.
episode 5 right now. Do you dance? So
No. That was episode 5.
You had episode 5?
Yep. Episode 6 is Do You Dance.
Is it episode 6? Okay.
Yep.
Do you dance? So this is the most recent episode, and we've seen the viral dances happen in the previous season. So this is episode 6 at the time where it happened this season. But the whole point of this episode was for them to create a buzz using some kind
just
of
like
viral dance video.
Oh, shout out to the comments. They say y'all sleeping on Jordan. I hope so.
You think so?
Listen, I like Jordan's flow. Why? Nobody else has that in the game. Now, when I say his flow, he spits like a Eminem type, Joyner Lucas type.
Okay.
It's not mumble rap, but he's got a very fast paced flow. The question is if the flow fits him. Because if you can't remember your lyrics and you're trying to get all these words into bars,
Squeezing in,
then it's just not working out. Right.
So I don't think I'm sleeping on Jordan. I like Jordan.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
I like him too.
This just wasn't his episode. But I don't think I'm sleeping on Jordan. I think he's good. But in this, we'll see where he lands in this episode when we talk about it. But for this most recent week, creating the dance video, they got to work with choreographer Guapo, who worked with Tiana Taylor in her dance video that she did with Kanye.
That's right, which went, I remember when it dropped at the awards, the next morning, everybody was talking about the memes was crazy.
Man, I know.
The internet is so funny. The internet could either work for you or work against you.
It
One
could
of
give
the
you life,
but
or kill
it
you.
definitely gave Tiana Taylor life. After
did.
that video, everybody knew who she was.
Right. So they worked with Guapo, who choreographed that video.
Yeah.
And the kids had to come up with their own dance and dance-related song that they had to come up with originally and make a viral video. But then, also, this is the dance episode, but what we see in this episode is they have the manager swap challenge.
That's
so you've
right.
seen that before.
Work with somebody that's not your kid. And we have seen it in the episodes before. Usually it's for the best or for the worst.
And usually it's one of the most fun episodes to watch when they have to switch up and, you're working with someone who you're not used to or working with someone who you don't really get along with.
Yeah.
In this case, Little Bree worked with, who'd she work with? She worked with Tiki, who the week prior she had kind of a verbal back and forth
with Tiki. That's
so
right.
yeah, and so JD kind of made it so that you had some like beef with her, you're gonna have to work with her now, and that's what I like about JD and these manager swaps.
Yeah,
because they have to work it out. So what happened was they had to switch managers. So what happened? Ricky Ricky Biddy went with Corey, who was Street Bud's manager.
That's right.
Then we have Jordan, who went with Reginald, who's Little Bree's manager.
Little Bree's manager, yeah.
And I see people up here talking about Jordan and his manager. He needs a new manager. But so what happened was he went with Little Bree's manager. Rapunzel went with Shonda, who was Jordan's manager. Now Rapunzel, we know her momager is Tiki,
yeah,
who is like the hype man, basically.
Pretty much,
she brings all this energy in the recording studio.
Yeah.
So now for her to go from this level of energy to now Chandra, Jordan's manager, who is this level,
down some,
is gonna be quite interesting for her. So that was the swap there with her. Little Bree went with Tiki, who's Rapunzel's manager. And then Street Bud went with Darren, who's Ricky's manager. What do you think about those swaps right there?
I liked it because, once again, especially in this game, you are going to collaborate with a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
If you want to continue to build.
Right.
And you, unfortunately, I don't even like saying this, but you might have to work with somebody you don't like. But if you want to get that check, or if you want to build your network, or
buzz,
everything,
get to the next level,
you gotta learn to deal with it,
Right.
So it was definitely interesting to see them, just figure out a way to make it work.
Right. So the next activity for them was they had to come up with their own dances.
And
this is always fun because you've seen how the kids from the rap game previous seasons use these viral videos to their advantage, and they have all their fans doing the dances, and they'll even post their fans doing dances on their accounts.
Which is, I'm gonna stop you real quick because I've seen a transition with Instagram now. That's what everybody's doing. Example, Chris Brown's album that just dropped had like 48 songs on it.
Yeah.
People are making choreographed dances, skits specifically to his music because they see Chris is reposting everybody that does it to his music.
Right.
So if you want to get your numbers up, your followers up, want to get
your
seen
face out
or
there,
something,
your skill out there,
do it specifically to his song, and you might get reposted.
If you're good, he'll put you out there.
Exactly.
So that's a good strategy.
And
social media
I've
can
seen
really
a
work
lot
for your
of
career.
artists now do it. Chris Brown, I mentioned, like Plies has a song right now called My Rock. Everybody's been doing his dance, redoing it. So it's interesting to see how much social media is playing into artistry.
And it works for the artists as well because
they're getting their song out there.
Yeah, they're building that buzz, getting the song out there. And the
It's
more
a
people,
win-win.
It's a win-win for the artist and for the person who wants to get discovered or just wants to have fun on social media.
Well, that's if your song gets posted. That's if your video gets reposted. It's a win-win. If you do it and you send it to them and they don't, you're kind of mad. You're like, man, I did all that work for no reason. But hey, that's what happens.
But not only are these top artists doing it, but we also have kids like alumni from the rap game show.
For sure.
I see it all the time. Lyric, Mulatto, Nia K, all these kids are doing it and posting their fan videos.
Yeah,
doing
which is
choreographed
dope.
moves to their song. So it's really dope. So Tiki worked with Little Bree to come up with an Aries related dance because Tiki and Little Bree have the same birthday.
Which I did see somebody in the comments mention something about getting the inspiration of the zodiac sign. I thought that was very creative, actually.
So I thought that it wasn't too good because if you're gonna build a song around one zodiac sign, you're basically alienating
your audience.
All 11 other signs and all 11 other ones. So if I'm a Virgo, go Virgos.
Right.
Why would what do I get from listening to a song by Aries? I don't care. I'm not checking for that song.
Good point.
So I felt like you're kind of alienating the rest of the zodiac signs. So in my opinion, I was like, not a good look. But nonetheless, they did it. They both had the same birthday, and they came up with a Aries-related dance. Aries is the ram in the zodiac sign, for those who don't know the zodiac constellations.
Shout out to my Leos out there. We out here.
Okay, Leos. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the lion. All right. They did their zodiac thing with the Aries ram dance, and then Shonda was coaching Rapunzel to do a runway-inspired, like fashion model type dance.
Which I feel that fits Rapunzel. That fits.
Yeah, she's got that. She's tall,
lean. Yeah. I thought that fit her.
Yeah, I think so too. Corey and Ricky put together a selfie dance. Ricky Biddy, of course, this totally fits Ricky doing the dance with the selfie. So she brought the selfie out, taking pictures here and there. It fits. Street Bud, who has been #1 2 weeks in a row, threw a little shade at his manager for this week. Street Bud's manager this week was Darren, and he's like, well, my manager's been at the bottom every week.
So you guys expect me to take instruction from somebody who been down here when I've been up here?
Right. I've been #1 for 2 weeks in a row. Now you give me, the worst manager who can't even crack the bottom 2. So he's like, I think I need to manage my manager. I like that about Street Bud, man. This kid is contagious because
taking control though.
Yeah, and he speaks his mind too.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit about Street Bud. So he's like, yeah, I gotta manage my manager. And then Lil Bree, though, threw a little shade because she's working with Tiki.
Tiki, yeah.
And she says
the hype man.
She had to dummy herself down to work with Tiki because she's not used to like these simple lyrics and everything like that. Just like the very simple lyrics. She wasn't used to that. She's like, I had to dummy myself down for Tiki, that's some shade right there. That's shots fired.
Personally, Josh, would you feel comfortable with having a Tiki type manager all up in the music videos? Nah, but like you know
who's like that as a manager?
Who's
all up in the music videos? I mean, back in the '90s, you had Puff Daddy.
Oh yeah, oh of course,
Puff Daddy was all up in the videos.
All up in the videos, yeah. I mean, he just wanted to be a part of. But she's very a part of the creative process. So
she's very much a part of it. So for me personally, I can deal with it personally up to a point, but it could become overwhelming. So I don't want to ever be in a situation where I feel like, hey, do you want to be on the mic, spitting these bars and doing the music video? Doing the music video.
It's that mumble rap.
I know, right? Do you want to be up here in my spotlight? Because I'm the artist. So there has to be, if I ever feel like, hey, I'm competing with you to do what I'm here to do, then you've already crossed the line. How about you? What do you feel about that?
I feel like I work best in my own zone alone, and then I like to come up with I like to bring what I came up with over to my manager or to whoever I'm working with,
Yeah.
So that's just how I work. I can definitely understand the overwhelming factor, because if I'm trying to think of something that I think is going to be dope and I have you inside my ear saying blah, 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 it's just going to mess up my creativity at that point.
Yeah, and you just can't focus.
I can't focus. Yeah.
Shout out to the person. I didn't see who it was, but shout out to the person in the chat room who said Echo reminds them of Tiki. Remember Echo from last season was Nova's manager.
Yeah,
he was really hype. He was like Nova's hype man.
Right, true.
Yeah, and Tiki, and Echo had, I think he wrote some of, he helped
did
co-write
say he did
Nova's
help
raps.
write Nova's bars. Only difference, Echo never hopped in the booth with.
I don't think he hopped in the booth. And Echo I think Echo's pretty good because Echo had a rap career of his own at some point. Yeah. And so he was kind of passing that off to Nova. So good comparison. I like that. Keep coming with those comparisons for sure.
We like the comments, guys. We like the comments.
For sure. So then what I wanted to say next is that, let's see what I have on my notes. So Jordan got in the studio. They make up their raps. They make up their dances. They get in the studio. Jordan gets in the studio. And this time you can see with his manager that he's a little bit more easygoing and he's having a good time in the studio. And he actually makes the comment, this was the easiest song he's ever recorded. Now, keep in mind, the music that they're making in relation to these dances, I mean, dance tracks don't really have a lot of lyrical content. You're really just kind of saying the same thing over,
now
talking about the dance. Exactly.
Watch me, nay.
So it's not going to be some kind of, lyrical web of, greatness. It's just going to be some basic, just a basic rap. So Jordan was like, this is the easiest I've ever had to do in the studio. And he was enjoying himself. Lil Bree and Tiki, I don't know if you remember the last couple episodes, Tiki got in the booth with Rapunzel, who she manages. This time, Tiki wanted to get in the booth and kind of spit some ad-libs. And Lil Bree was like, look, I know you want to do it. I don't mind. Go ahead. Kind of thing.
Once again, you could just tell she just wasn't... she wasn't with it at first, but she's like, look, I feel like she's gonna keep asking me if I don't say yes. So okay, yeah, sure, go
Right.
ahead.
And Lil Bree had the kind of attitude that's like, you know what, the challenge really, she felt the challenge really wasn't about her as a rapper, but more about the managers. So she was just thinking like, okay, do what you do as a manager. I'll go along with it. She went with the dance. I don't know if she's feeling it all the way. She went with the ad libs and kind of let Tiki do her thing. Because Tiki, I think she's the type that she's gonna kind of keep asking.
I think Tiki wants to be on the rap game herself.
I think so.
I think she wants to be a contestant.
Didn't we talk about an adult rap game?
We did.
I think we did. Tiki would be the first one in line for that casting call.
Sign her up
for sure. So yeah, they had a good time in the studio, the rappers, the kids, and then we get to I wanted to say Rapunzel was very low energy in the studio, and the reason why is because her manager is usually the one hyping her up.
Usually, yeah. So the question is, how is she going to create that same energy that she usually has? Because Moms isn't gonna be there 100% of the time,
right? Exactly. One of our commenters in the chat is saying Bree was a little rude to Tiki. I think she's saying.
A little rude, but she had to speak her mind. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, which borderline. Yeah, but I think Bree was just kind of like, you know what, Tiki, I'm not gonna fight you on this, because remember the week before they had that beef.
Yeah.
So Ricky had a catchy song with Corey. Corey really brought out the feminine side in Ricky, is what Ricky was saying.
Which is her strong side.
Which is her strong side, because Ricky's manager is her dad. I think it's her dad.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it is her dad.
Okay.
Which works with Jermaine Dupri.
So that he's not really going to know how to help her bring out her feminine side, and probably going to put like the brakes on some of that stuff, because as a dad, there's some things that you're just probably uncomfortable seeing your daughter do.
I'm sure.
And Corey really brought that out in Ricky, because that's kind of Ricky's thing.
Yeah.
Street Bud had more energy in the studio this time. He was jumping all over, bouncing off of
High
walls,
energy,
jumping up on the desk and everything. I think he was really overcompensating for when Jermaine was telling him before that he didn't have a lot of energy in the studio. So he was all over the place with that. But anyway, they all did their thing in the studio. They get to the Ron Clark Academy, which this particular school in the Atlanta area, I think it was, is known because they had some kids there with the founder of this academy make a viral video. And this video just went all over the place. And what actually happened as a part of this challenge, while the kids are filming their videos there, they actually had kids from the school who were in the videos that they were making.
Yeah.
So they got the rappers got a chance to pick 4 kids each to be in their video. So it makes the video it gives it some life. You have extra dancers behind you. It kind of thickens it up a little bit.
Definitely.
So they all shoot their video. Each rapper gets the dancers, and the one other caveat is the managers are in charge of the camera. So there's a whole lot of things happening here.
There's a whole lot of different things that could go right or could go wrong.
Right. Shout out to Jasmine Jones. The school looked so cool. This is true. This is Ron Clark Academy. I had never heard of it beforehand. But you look at this school, and it was like they had those big dinosaur fossils in the hallway.
If I could go there for
man.
If I could go there for school, excuse me.
And it's a middle school, and I think the founder was saying it's one of the most academically challenging middle schools in the whole world.
Right,
so shout out to the Ron Clark Academy doing their thing down there.
And also too, I like how JD is. If you guys are noticing, paying attention, he is. What they say in over here is he is doing a lot of cross branding with different things, like the circus, the school, he is actually giving them exposure on his show, which will ultimately help them in whatever, if it's ticket sales for the circus, or if it's for admission over to the actual school, Right. It's like everybody is benefiting somehow.
And he's highlighting parts of Atlanta and that surrounding area, which is very important to him.
Might not even know.
Might not know. And it's important to him because that's where he's from.
That's right.
So, yeah, shout out to JD doing that. Good point. I will get to that, Jasmine Jones, the fact that Tiki and Bree's video was kind of a mess. But they all filmed their videos. Jordan did his video. It was like a walk it out kind of dance. which Street Bud was like, his dance is whack. It really wasn't a lot to it. He was just kind of walking. We have enough like viral video dances about walking.
Yeah.
I think that was one too many.
That was kind of back in like 2008.
Yeah, it's
2007.
It's
Walked
been
it
done
out
before,
in
Jordan.
two-step.
Yeah, exactly.
DJ
by the way,
Unk.
if you had to come up with a dance on the spot,
Ooh,
on the spot.
On the spot, I gotta go back to shout out my man John Wall, because I remember when he was at Kentucky before he was in the league, you had to hit him with the John Wall, man. That's that joint right there. So I would have to bring that back.
That John Wall.
What would you do?
Oh man, I think I would.
Hey, looking like a little bit of a
kind of a little Dougie, a little
Dougie
busted,
joint. Okay.
a little busted Dougie. Yeah, I like that. Those guys are from Inglewood, so shout out to Inglewood area.
Bro, I remember the days where I don't know if our viewers, but I'm sure they remember. Viral dances began with the Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
And then it went to the Batman, and then like the Spider-Man, and then it went into all different types of Dougies, and then Cat Daddy, and then it just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
But the interesting part about it, dances were always around. Okay, we got the
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, baby, oh, I be breaking, oh, I be breaking that Soulja Boy, that Superman, oh, I be, ooh. Hey. But I was gonna say, man, dances have always been around, but this whole idea of them going viral, Soulja Boy, I'd say, is like responsible for like one of the first ones. But if you think about let me do that Tootsie Roll, that Tootsie Roll, the Cotton Eye Joe, the Cupid shuffle, do the Humpty Humpty. They've always been a part of the culture. It wasn't until Soulja Boy came that it turned into something everybody across the board.
With the emergence of social media and that skewing toward a younger audience who's like hungry for that and wants to copy that.
That's right.
So he came in right at the right time.
Right at the right time.
Social media was kind of firing up, and he used that, and it just took off from there.
And then too, we spoke about it. Me and Nino, Soulja Boy got signed because of his dance.
Yeah, right. Off this viral video.
Parts. Daughters were doing it in front of him all the time, and he's like, why do you guys keep doing this dance? And then his daughters showed him who Soulja Boy was, and he got signed ever since.
The rest was history.
Now he's rich and doing crazy stuff.
Is he though?
He's got more money than us. So,
You're right. But yeah, you're right. I mean, who doesn't love to hear a good song and dance at the same time?
Exactly,
I mean, it's in us. We want to hear music. We want to dance. We want to feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for a good dance song and getting a chance to just move and go to the music. So they all did their thing. The managers had to film the actual video. They were filming. Now we've seen in times past they've had actual film crews. Tape the video or shoot the kids doing their dance and their videos, but in this instance, the managers
got really basic. Well, not basic, but this iPod, iPhone,
really kind of do it yourself,
right?
Which is at this point in time
nowadays, this bad
people
boy
are shooting movies with this, right?
Yes, movies.
So they're doing it with the camera. Tiki and Lil Bree had a little issue because Tiki wanted to put her little footprint on the music video. It wasn't happening. She wanted to paint a small little sign, and the paint was running all over the place and getting on stuff.
Wasn't working.
And Jermaine was like, "We don't have time for that." Lil Bree didn't want to do that. But at the same time, she was filming the video, and her back was all on the table. She was filming from all different angles, and sometimes she was even like cutting off Bree's head with the video, and it made you think like, oh, this video is definitely going to be.
We need a new videographer.
Like we see in the comments, she was doing way too much. Yeah. It was just all over the place, and I think that translated. Little Bree could feel that, and I think kind of her performance maybe suffered a little bit because of just the overwhelming energy that Tiki brought. Mm-hmm. Let's see, who was next? Street Bud did his thing. He was lit. Of course, he's my favorite. He was working with Darren.
Yeah.
They all shot their videos. Rapunzel did her little fashion walk. Ricky Biddy did her selfie, and when Ricky Biddy did her selfie, her little selfie dance, I mean, even I was feeling it. I was like, this is catchy.
It's relatable.
It's relatable. I don't know if it's relatable to me, but I was like, I could see the catchiness in it.
Right, because we live in a selfie time right now.
I've been taking a few selfies. Who doesn't take selfies, right?
Who doesn't, right?
Who doesn't take selfies?
Even the most gangsterous of gangster dudes or girls are taking selfies now.
Y'all feeling yourself. We've all been there. We feeling ourselves. We might look a certain way, like, okay, let me capture this moment right here.
For sure.
Just for posterity's sake, at least. But I was feeling her video because that's really what you have to do for these viral videos. It has to be something that catches on.
It does.
So we get to the catch with this. I don't know if I mentioned this. So JD was taking all of these videos and placing them on Musically.
That's right.
You've seen the app
which
Musically.
Is very popular with the young kids.
Right. So all these videos are placed on Musically, and he said the hit list will be determined by how many votes that they got.
The numbers.
By the numbers. So he had no say or input in this episode as far as the hit list goes. It was all determined by the numbers.
Which, unfortunately, too, that's how a lot of the music industry is as well.
Yeah.
Something might be hot, but if the numbers don't match, they think it's whack, and that's the problem with the culture. But that's another conversation.
So start with number 5 in the hit list. We have Rapunzel at the bottom. Her dance to me was underwhelming. It was like the fashion model strut, whatever it was.
Yeah.
JD said her dance wasn't really a dance. I agree. It was much like Jordan's dance. It was just kind of like a little walk shimmy.
Yeah.
So yeah, not much there. Street Bud. I was surprised that Street Bud came at number 4. He had a lot of comments in the Musically app about his energy, his fashion, his hair. JD said his lip syncing was off. Number 3, we had Jordan come in. And I was surprised at that. I could have flipped Jordan and Street, but at least.
I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. That's the highest Jordan's been since he's been on the show. So
didn't really agree with that, but hey, numbers don't lie.
Right.
Jordan got the votes. He was number 3. JD said he couldn't really dance and rap at the same time, but people liked it enough to put him number 3.
Right.
Lil Bree, who did not think that she was gonna have a good video, and neither did I. She came in
not bad.
At number 2, and she never really wanted to give Tiki her credit for helping out with that, because Tiki at the end of the day, has coached Rapunzel up to the top spot a time or two. So
true.
I don't know.
Don't lie.
I know one of our viewers said Lil Bree was kind of rude, but she never did acknowledge the fact that Tiki may have had a part in her getting number 2 this week. Yeah. Number 1 for the first time this week. Shout out to Ricky Biddy. Was it the first time?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was her first number 1.
Definitely.
Shout out to her because she did bring a catchy video with the selfie. I almost thought she was gonna get number 1 when they played their songs on the radio a couple episodes ago.
That's right, but she ended up being number 5 or 4.
I think
she was at the bottom.
Yeah,
that week.
She comes in number 1, and I think this brings us really to our predictions for going forward. Excuse me. Thanks, Jeff, with the prediction music. If we don't watch out, I think Ricky Biddy is just catchy enough to do some damage to this rap game hit list going forward. Okay. If she gets the right challenge, I think she can work her way up there and get number 1 spot again. She just has to bring that catchiness. Her songs, the song they play on the radio, people were feeling it. Her selfie video, people were feeling it. Numbers don't lie.
Right.
Numbers don't lie. I think if we don't watch it, she could be the dark horse. Right now, for me, I think understandably so, justifiably so, she's coming in at the bottom spots lately. But number 1, watch out for Ricky Biddy. What do you think?
Okay. Just to play devil's advocate on saying that there, Ricky has gotten a lot of constructive criticism. Hopefully she has taken it all, and she landed in the number 4 or 5 the majority of the episodes.
Yeah.
Can she come up and rise up again to number 1? Maybe one more time, but
she got one more time.
I think overall is she gonna take the comp? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think her as well as Jordan, they got a lot of work. But as far as who I think is leading the pack right now is definitely a tie between Lil Bree and Street. I definitely think so. Who is gonna come out on top? you will find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I think I was watching the episode. I think you and Nino were on team Lil Bree.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lil Bree is a strong contender, if not the strongest.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think personally for me, I'm riding with Street Bud just based off his energy, vivaciousness alone. I think he's got enough to really, get the youth out there really moving around. And that's what's all about these days with rap is I think they, kids want to move, they want to have fun, they want to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
They want to incorporate the fashion. I think Street Bud brings all that, but we'll see.
Right. And just to mention too, Lil Bree at the time of filming 15, Street Bud 12. That's 3 years. That's a little bit of a difference. Right, exactly. So a little bit more experience. So say she started at 12, he was 9 at the time, So just to get that perspective. I did like one of the comments. They said, "We can't wait for the rap battle." Me neither. I can't. That's one of my
that's like everybody's favorite. Like, who doesn't want to see a rap battle?
Now. Exactly, is the rap battle. I remember watching a preview. Some alumni come to the house and they see what they're made of, which I've said on this after show. I'm still rocking with, just like you said, I'm with season 1, 2, and 3 over season 4.
Yeah, season 4. Let's step it up. Let's step it up a little. I'm not giving up on them. Oh no, let's bring it up a notch. So we'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah,
man. And that is our episode, guys. I want to thank you guys for joining us. It's always good to talk about some rap on a Monday night. I am your host, Jimmy V, found on Twitter, Instagram at Be Your Own Dad. Make sure to check my blog, BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com. Joshua Johnson, where can they find you at?
Yo, find me all over social media at JJ the Talented. I did see one of our viewers talking about
y'all should have a small rap battle. Yo, check it.
I'm feeling that.
Check it.
Wait.
Hold up.
Today? Not today.
Right now?
Not today. Let's come back. Let's bring Nino to the mix.
Ooh.
And maybe we can do a little something. We can get something going.
Next week, rap battle. Stay tuned for that.
Called it.
I'm excited then.
Yeah.
Did you let them know where they
I think I did. JJ the Talented, all over social media. And of course you can find Jimmy V, Be Your Own Dad.
At Be Your Own Dad.
Find us here.
AfterBuzz. Shout out to AfterBuzz. Oh, and shout out to Maria Menouñez and Kevin Undergaro. Just got married on New Year's in front of everybody. If you guys don't know who they are responsible for the whole AfterBuzz family.
And we owe them
and they run shit. So shout out to them. Congratulations. See you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menouñez, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.